LARP. Live action roleplay. A few years ago, hearing the word LARP would make you think of this.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Sleep! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Sleep!
But in the Big 2-6, LARP, LARPing, and whatnot refers to people who put on a facade, a mask for an identity. Similar to its original meaning, a LARPer lives out a fantasy. They pretend to either have knowledge, interest, or a meaningful connection to something. If LARPing makes you think of performatives or posers, you would be right to do so. But to understand the root to LARPing and the potential issues it brings, let's take a look at these two other labels. Posers. The best example I can think of is none other than Kevin Sea Cucumber from SpongeBob. Kevin, although the leader of the Jelly Spotters, is nothing but a phony who is only in it for the fashion. He has no actual level of expertise in the field that he represents. Ultimately, when push came to shove, Kevin crumbled, while SpongeBob, who does have skin in the jellyfishing game, came out on top by doing what he loves. Another example, this time using a real-world example, in 2016, everyone and their mom was wearing a Thrasher shirt, ripped skinny jeans, and Vans. This was the uniform. Skate culture had bled into mall culture and had everyone in a chokehold. But how many of these people were actual skaters? And how many were just in it for the fashion? Performatives. Superficially adopting the aesthetic and moral values a culture has for ulterior motives, usually exploitative in nature. Have you seen this man? These are the staple markers of the progressive performative male, using the mullet and mustache to paint a masculine foundation but decorating themselves with props to come off as a more approachable, softer man. This is the evolved version of the manipulative teenage boy who makes you feel sad for him and his struggles with depression to make you fall in love with him. Don't ask me how I know. The reasons can be, but are not limited to, getting laid, winning trust and favor in a group, clout, or the moral high ground. Do keep in mind that the performative's costume will change according to the culture they are preying on. So while posers are trend chasers, performatives are predators who thrive by weaponizing a sense of familiarity. To summarize, posers seek vanity and admiration, while performatives seek to exploit familiarity. One is a peacock, and the other is an anglerfish. At first glance, these two seem like they are the same thing, but by taking a deeper dive, you begin to see the core differences. So back to trying to understand LARPing and the potential problems with it. If LARPing means to put on a mask for an identity, it now depends on this question. Who is the mask for? Let's take a look at another character. Brian Griffin. He's a performative male, but he's also a LARPer. He tries to come off as some great guy, but is really just a sleazy dude putting on an act to get laid. This is how he performs, but where he LARPs is in his own personal interests. Brian is a mediocre writer who thinks himself a genius that hasn't been recognized yet. He's part of the community, but he isn't as skilled as he believes himself to be. Rather than actually putting in the effort, he just pretends like he is better. He acts like an intellectual because he wants to be one, but he never puts in the effort to become one. Just because he engages with the material does not mean he understands the material, but he will act like he does nonetheless for his own ego. Now that we understand each role, what are the dangers of each one? While posers are likely the least harmful of the three, it still has its issues. For starters, as things become trendy, they tend to drop in quality and go up in price. We've all been there. We've all seen it. Yeah. Some examples could be food spots. When a food spot starts to get a lot of heads, although good for the business, it oftentimes leads to a raise in prices to cash in on the search of customers while finding cheaper ingredients and sacrificing the original quality that brought them traction. After all, a business would want to maximize profits. Another example is clothing. Carhartt. Blue-collar workwear has become a fashion trend now. Understandably, anyone could wear Carhartt, but it has resulted in clothing going up in price while dropping in quality. A brand known for durability has chosen to chase profits at the expense of its core customers. While not done maliciously, posers do enable businesses to screw over their core customers. But if your favorite brand switches up like that, maybe you should too. After all, loyalty is a two-way street. But posers could also cause a more concerning problem. If a cabal chooses to, they can very well exploit a poser's desire for vanity and admiration in order to commonize and then normalize a certain ideology. effectively turning the poser into a pawn. LARPers lean more towards a type of self-harm. As I previously mentioned, LARPers have a desire to be something but lack the drive to become that something, so they will live in mediocrity while feigning success. The harm is they lack expertise, but will try to pass off as fountains of knowledge. To any unlucky soul that believes them, they will be misguided. The LARPers themselves rob themselves of the embers that would have turned into a burning passion. Not able to stack up to actual accomplished members of their craft, a form of resentment will sprout. Ultimately, they will only socialize with the naive or other LARPers in order to protect and stroke their egos, snuffing out the chance to learn from others and grow. Being complacent is easy. Growing is hard. Duh. They become the prisoner and the warden of their own cycle of complacency, the performative. The harm is done to others. The performative seeks to exploit the sense of safety a group or individual has through familiarity. They are a social parasite that doesn't care or believe in what they pretend to represent. Their goal is to win people over for their own selfish gain. When you eventually get burned by a performative, the sense of safety is destroyed. It is replaced by mistrust and paranoia, leading to genuine people being isolated. When everyone is trying to sell you their Kool-Aid, at least make sure they're looking out for you too, not just giving you a fake smile and some empty promises. Anyways, I hope you guys found the video entertaining and thought-inducing. Kind of the point. Hopefully it will help you identify these archetypes in your life. And if you haven't already figured it out, I hope it also helps you identify the problems that these things bring. And remember to brush your tongue at the roof of your mouth while you're brushing your teeth. Okay, bye.